everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps and the 12 Days of Soapmas. Today we are going to be making some Starbucks hot chocolate inspired soaps. Would you just look at these? Links to everything that I use will be down in the description box below, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Our first step is to melt down 60 ounces of clear melt and pour soap. This is the low sweat kind from TKB Trading. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave and I'm going to heat for 30-second increments of time until everything is completely melted. Okay, so now that everything is melted down, I'm going to add some colorants. I'm going to be using chocolate concentrate from TKB today. And I'm just going to add a little drizzle here to start out. We'll see how dark that makes the soap. Ooh, so chocolatey looking. Well, I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to spritz it with rubbing alcohol. And now I'm going to add 3.5 ounces of hot chocolate fragrance. This is from Nature's Garden Candles. But any hot chocolate fragrance oil will work as long as it is body safe. This smells so good. Definitely one of my favorite chocolate scents. So after the fragrance is good and incorporated, I'm gonna set this to the side and get my little cups out. I got these from Walmart. I got 8 of them for $1. You wanna make sure when you pour that your melt and pour soap is not like super hot. Let it sit and cool down a little while before you pour it into the cups. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to pour about that much in because I'm going to put some whipped soap frosting on mine, so I want to have enough room for that. If you aren't going to put any whipped soap on the top, you can fill it up more. Gonna take the time to spritz these real quick before I pour the next 4. This is going to make a massive bar of soap, so it would be really good for a Christmas gift. Okay, so I'm gonna spritz again. You can see here's some places where I scraped the sides of my bowl and then those little bits weren't completely dissolved after I scraped them. If you're going to be putting nothing on the top, I would recommend you not do that. That way you have like a nice smooth top like this one. But since I'm putting frosting on again, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to set these off to the side and let them harden and cool completely, which is going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The little hot chocolate cups have set up, so now I'm going to create the whipped cream for the top. So this is 8 ounces of low sweat white melt and pour and 3 ounces of refined deodorized shea butter. We're going to microwave this in 30-second increments until it is completely melted, and then we're going to add 8 ounces of foaming bath whips. So let's heat this up. This is almost completely melted. You can see there's just this little bit right here that I need to stir in so that it will melt completely. So now I'm going to take my foaming bath whip from Crafter's Choice and I'm going to measure out 8 ounces into my bowl, and then I'm going to stir this around just a little bit until the foaming bath whip has kind of broken up and there aren't any little clumps left. Now it's time to add the fragrance. So I added 1 ounce of Marshmallow Fragrance OIl from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and because this has vanilla in it, it will discolor. So I also added in 1 ounce of Melt and Pour Vanilla Color Stabilizer. I'm gonna mix that in really well here. And now using a hand mixer with a whisk attachment, I'm going to whip this for about 2 minutes until it starts looking thick. So once you've whipped enough so that this consistency starts to look like this, that is when your soap frosting is done and you can start putting it in your piping bag. So you're gonna start filling your piping bag, and if you find little bits of your soap frosting that's starting to get harder than others, then just continue to reincorporate it into the majority of the frosting mix, just like this. Kind of break up those little pieces, that way you can have have as smooth a pipe as possible. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to start putting it in my piping bag. This piping set that I'm using, including the piping bag, the coupler, and the piping tip, are from the Royalty Soaps piping set, available at Nurture Soap Supply. So before I put the whipped cream onto the hot chocolates, I'm going to spritz it once again with rubbing alcohol. This is just to help the frosting kind of adhere to the melt and pour soap. It will still probably come off relatively easily, but this will just hold it in place at least long enough for you to package up these products. So I'm going to put a little bit in the middle here, and then I'm going to pipe around just like this and up on top just like that. Start in the middle again, come around, and start to mound it up. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have gotten hot chocolates at Starbucks, I've always telling the baristas to put more whipped cream on it. So I am making these soaps with the amount of whipped cream I like on my hot chocolate. Okay, put a little more on this one. Some of these I might make a little shorter than the others. Okay, last one here. So I don't know if they decorate hot chocolates different from Starbucks to Starbucks, but at my Starbucks, they always put like a mocha drizzle on top. So that's what I'm going to do on 4 of these. But then on the other 4, I'm going to show you a variation. So the variation is to cover some salts in some red and green mica to make it look a little more Christmassy. So that's what I'm going to put on these. It tends to work a little bit better if you spritz with rubbing alcohol before putting the little sprinkles on. I'm just going to put these green ones on here. Oh my gosh, these look so realistic. They're so cute. Then for the chocolate drizzle, I mixed up just a few teeny tiny cubes of melt and pour, and I added in some of that chocolate brown colorant and also black oxide, so it gets that really deep, rich brown color. And I've tried to wait until the melt and pour is just a little bit thicker. Then I'm just going to gently put it across the top like that. Last one here, just drizzle a little bit across the top. And we are done. If you want to know how I'm going to be packaging up these Starbucks-inspired hot chocolate soaps for my party guests, stay tuned and click subscribe to Royalty Soaps down below, because I will be doing a packaging video in the next couple of days. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and leave us a comment down below, and we will be back tomorrow for the next installment of the 12 Days of Soapmas.